Bam, should be live.
Should be. Cool. It actually worked this time.
It actually, yeah. Once in a while, technology does what it's supposed to do. Sometimes not so much, but
yeah.
So you guys on Facebook, give us a shout out, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, let us know that we're live. You guys can hear us okay. I apologize. This is the best my voice gets at the moment. I blew it out a couple of days ago, so I'm going to let Rory and Malcolm do most of the talking.
Yeah, and I talk a lot anyway, so it's
Welcome, everybody, to the preamble. This is the pregame for our Chiron Zoom chat that starts at 6. To the Zoom tribe, we'll see you in a second with all of the weirdness that we normally bring to the table. But we wanted to talk about something we got coming up. We've been kind of hinting at it. We're very subtle. We've been talking around it a little bit. And what we're calling it is the Chiron Alpha Cohort. And it's going to be a series of monthly examinations of different topics. So the first topic for January is going to be awareness. And so each topic is going to have information, it's going to have field work, it's going to have homework, it's going to be written from all 4 of our various perspectives. And we're starting the awareness month based on Rory's recently or relatively recently beta tested situational awareness class. So we only got 10 spaces open, and we're starting it off on Wednesday. And so, Rory, do you want to kind of talk us through some of the things you cover in the situational awareness class that'll be the basis for what we're doing starting Wednesday?
I could. Overall, though, what we're trying to do is this is Paul's brainchild. He woke up one morning and decided we had to do this. However that works. And
world.
And it's like I get excited about much. I mean, this is my excited face right now. But the idea of trying to cover everything that we cover, as much as that changes all the time, and we're working on new information all the time, and trying to get it out, and it's like it's really hard to talk about something because, like we talk about all the time, people want in the self-defense world, people tend to want easy, simple answers to non-existent questions. You know, they want something, bad guy jumps out of the bushes, you do this and this and this, walk away, everything's fine. And it never works like that. We want to give enough information out that everyone has enough background on each subject that they can continue to learn on their own, that they're up to the point where we have the language where we're talking to colleagues instead of students. So that's the goal as I see it. So like we're going to try to do 1 month at a time and hit it as hard as we realistically can. I mean, some of us have spent lifetimes working on aspects of this. So the first 3 have mapped out, and they come from the basic awareness, initiative, permission. So we'll talk about awareness. Malcolm is mapping out the initiative part, initiative, permission part, permission.
Initiative part.
Okay.
That's February.
Yeah.
And so the way that's running in my head, we'll do those. We'll work on principles, building blocks. I think a lot of the physical skills have to be taught kinesthetically. I don't think we can realistically teach you how to strangle or smother or crank someone visually. It's a feel thing. So, but I want to get everything out that we can. Again. That's it. That's all I have to say. So the first one is going to be the situational awareness class. It's going to have a lot of crossover with intuition. It's how to get into your senses, how to set baselines. Everyone says, figure out what the baseline is, and then figure out what the deviations from the baseline. And no one tells you how to set a baseline. So we'll talk about that. The big one that we're going to spend time on it is interpreting the information, because that's where the skill comes in. That's where your history and everything you know about people. And, so that's one of the ones we can hint at it. We could give you some, if you see this, it usually means that, but sometimes it doesn't. But when we get down into that kind of micro detail, anything we do will be 0.1% of what's out there.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to work that principles base as well. Go, Malcolm.
And I think you hit one of the really key portions of this, which is trying to build folk, or not build per se, but trying to encourage folk to step into that collegial role. Because the idea is I'm from Boston. I've lived in cities my whole life. The stuff I'm aware of is different than the stuff somebody who's in a completely different context is aware of. The core elements usually exist in most places, but a lot of what I'm going to ping is not necessarily what someone else is going to notice for different reasons. And so we're trying to build out the model so that people can practice it on their own. Part of the reason we're also doing the big three, the awareness, initiative, and permission at this point, is because these are things that can be worked on much more easily at home without a whole bunch of bodies to strangle and smother and lovingly pummel into oblivion. So this is the type of stuff. It also happens to be the stuff that makes 99% of actual self-protection work. Because if you're punching throats on a consistent basis, shout out to you, but you may want to reevaluate lifestyle choices. I mean, do you, whatever makes you happy. But it just might be one of those things where you aren't noticing things before they happen, or maybe you are and you're volunteering. I don't know. But either way, it's stuff that is a little bit easier to work on without as much of the physical contact that we get under normal circumstances.
Yep, accurate.
Marcus, not choking you this year yet is a bad thing.
Agreed. Yes, we got Eric, Marcin, Alison Manzella, Marcus, Jay Kaken. Thank you guys for tuning in and weighing in here. You want to go, Malcolm, over some of the functional stuff?
Say again?
You want to go over some of the functional notes, like when is it cranking up, all that kind of fun?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would talk, but my voice is kicked.
No, I got you.
Paul came up with plans, and now I can't talk. So you got to get secondhand, even though he's right there.
This is the Tom Sawyer. You always say be Tom Sawyer. I'm being Tom Sawyer.
Fair enough. So this is going to start on January 4th. You guys going back and forth. For somebody who can't talk, you're talking a lot. This is going to start on January 4th. And there are 10 spaces open for current patrons of different tiers. We've got kind of different information for you guys, so just pay attention to the information that goes out into the Patreon if you have a question about if you're already on a tier. If you're just thinking about joining, we're really trying to build this out as something that starts in a particular place and really moves and grows as time goes on. And so we're trying to walk people through as much of the material as we can get out, because Rory has a quote I'm going to paraphrase from a while back. We're really kind of building backup, building training partners, building thought partners, building the skills that can help people really get to a level where they feel comfortable as colleagues and can bring all of the great things that they have to the conversation. So this is starting January 4th. We are really focused on hitting all of these topics pretty hard. So we're going to have a lot of information, a lot of content, a lot of things to do. And you get to be an alpha, which is just a hilarious, I like the idea. You are now an alpha. What that means is that you're a guinea pig. I'm kidding. You're really, it just means you're special. You're first in line. But definitely check it out. And if you've got questions about it, let us know either in the chat right now or just
subject to change.
Yeah, everything's subject to change at all times because change is the only constant.
Yep, 100%. Anybody that is currently on tier 4, you'll be getting a message in a little bit. You guys will be grandfathered at what you guys are already contributing. Basically, tier 4 is going to get jacked all the way up, so it's going to be good for you guys.
Yeah. Yep. Congratulations. You'll have way more of us talking to you. We know how excited you are about that.
He said with a heavy hint of sarcasm.
Me? What are you talking about? In any event, salute to everybody in the chat. What do you expect the participants to take away from this? That's a good question. A lot of stuff. I think, at least for me, and you guys chime in with what you think. I think for me, it's going to be a lot more the melding of the information with functionalizing it, because there's a bunch of different ways. There's a bunch of different approaches, and we're trying to basically have it be a knowledge dump to share all of those ideas so that everybody can take away the different ways that we practice these different areas. We'll just specifically say awareness, right? all of the different games, all the different training exercises we have around awareness, and all of the new material we've got on awareness, and giving them an opportunity to kind of share in the conversation about it and help develop it. So the takeaway is everybody walks away with a bunch of different ideas about awareness, a bunch of different ways to train it and practice it, and hopefully something that they can share with their students, or a whole lot they can share with their students, that they can incorporate into whatever practice they have already going on the physical level. So a whole lot of new ideas and ways to apply them, and a way to kind of get into the conversation so that we can modify it even more based on great feedback that we get. So hopefully that kind of answered your question, I think.
Yeah. I don't know what the Dresden Files wiki alpha is.
Yeah, that whooshed over my head too. I think my nerd threshold has been surpassed. I'm not quite that aware.
I can't click on the link from here, so we'll have to check it later.
That too.
Yeah, I tried to read a Dresden Files book once.
Yeah. So, Cynthia, hopefully that answered your question. If it didn't, shoot me a message so I can, I don't know.
Or I can take a shot at it.
Yeah.
So Cynthia, basically there's a whole bunch of background basic information that we think that everyone should have. So we're gonna kick down into that. So hitting awareness, hopefully hitting some of the physical skills, although I'm kind of weird on that. With all of the teaching notes, the stuff that everyone has to know. So it's basically what I'd like it to be, or what is in my head is a beginning encyclopedia of the stuff that we think is important to the subject.
Yeah.
So
in a very concentrated form too. I think that's one of the things. Like normally this is stuff that we'd be kind of letting out piecemeal when we thought of it, when it came up in conversation or whatever. And now it's kind of like, congratulations, you get to drink from the fire hose. Enjoy.
Yeah. I would consider it more disciplined and organized than concentrated, because it's the same stuff, but we'll just try to make it make sense instead of just whatever pops into our heads at the given moment is what you get.
I will be hurting all the kittens. That will be my with or without voice.
Yeah, he's already been hurting them. I mean, just the amount of direction that had to go on. You be here. You do this.
Text, Facebook Messenger, whatever I got to do. Smoke signals, whatever I got to send to get the message out there.
I hear you. Yeah. So Cynthia, I'm glad to hear that's what you've been looking for. That's dope. And if you've got ideas or things that you think would really add to the presentation side of it, or the concept side of it, please do let us know, because this is really about the just developing kind of the body of knowledge.
That's a very grandiose statement.
Come on, man! I gotta lean into now. I'm not tactical Santa, so I have to bring something to the table.
No. Did you see this one?
What?
Structured cadets info to solve the riddles of life. That's a grandiose.
Whoa! If you solve the riddle of life, let me know, because I feel like the solution to the riddle of life is death. I know that sounds like dark side.
I think the problem is that people think life is a riddle and it's actually a joke.
Oh.
That's going in the quote book.
So we're keeping it light and breezy today here at Chiron, in case you missed it.
Somebody here locally asked me what this was going to be like, and I said this is a combination of the inside baseball messenger chat that goes on between the four of us, along with the 20 to 60 minute post Zoom that happens every week, and then formalized into a program to match up with pre-existing programs and ideas and concepts that we have working on anyway. So
very
exciting.
Yeah, so basically this is what we talk about when, we're sitting around just shooting for a while.
The kids have gone to bed.
when we're keeping Paul awake for absolutely no reason other than our own personal entertainment, having really absurdly long conversations.
Absurdly is the right word.
Reframing it like this definitely lowers the blood pressure. I mean, hopefully not too low.
Yeah, I guess there are lower thresholds that limit it, right?
Also, Jim Butcher, lycanthropes, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Lycanthropes?
Werewolves.
Werewolves.
Again, my nerd threshold has been surpassed.
Lycanthropy? Werewolves.
Yeah, no, I know that part. I just never heard of the book.
Oh.
Riddle me
never
this,
heard that one.
Batman. I wouldn't want to be the Riddler because I feel like he's the smartest loser in like Batman history. Like he never gets anything out of the process. At least Cobblepot is like kind of rich. The Joker's insane, so he enjoys himself. Like everybody else seems to get something out of it. The Bane gets steroids, or Bane, not Bane. Bane gets steroids. And the Riddler gets like beat up. That's about it.
Cynthia asking if there's an application process. Be an interested party, and it goes live on the Patreon noon on Wednesday, noon my time, since I pull the strings. So
Yeah.
I got to be.
Yeah, I assume you're doing all the technical stuff, Paul.
You would assume
Yeah.
correctly, yeah. Actually, speaking of technical, and I'll do the best I can with the voice I have. So what we're envisioning, what we're setting up is we're going to have a new secondary private Facebook group. We will be delivering either pre-recorded videos or we'll hold Zooms, whatever the director wants to do for that particular topic. And then anything that we can, we will also double down and upload to the Patreon as well. So people who are interested will be able to hopefully participate in the Facebook group, participate in the Zoom calls, and then catch up on the Patreon as well, just in case. So doing the best we can to get the information out to you guys in the easiest process possible.
Yeah, technology.
Like I said, technical side.
Yeah, normally we just be in a stinky gym with like 7 other people and talk about this stuff.
Yeah, the beauty of the Dungeon Dojo.
Oh, that would be so cool.
It's hard to do like with an international audience, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, have they reinstated? Well, anyway, this is another conversation. I'm not going to jump down that particular rabbit hole. I'm going to leave that one alone.
It's easy to jump.
Yeah, not right.
All right, cool.
So
application process.
We covered that one.
Cool. Yep. So for anybody that joined late or just popped in, Chiron Alpha Cohort goes live officially January 4th. We'll start. Everything else, Sue. That's everything else that's in place right now. Nothing will change. So Sunday calls at 6:00 Eastern Standard Time will continue. The general group. Our goal was to have a. We mentioned this last week. The goal was to have a large-scale group with as many people that wanted to join the conversation as possible, and that's the Tier 2 Facebook group. And $10 a month is not even 2 trips to Starbucks, and it's honestly just it's a little bit of skin in the game to make sure we're not getting trolled. Is pretty much why we set it at $10 a month. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Usual conversations, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Trolls don't spend money to troll, is what we.
No.
So
the ultimate troll is to harass people for free, to occupy space in their head for free.
Yep. And nothing will change in that group. We expect stuff to continue to trickle down to there. Yeah. If nothing else, I'm going to guess you're going to get probably more posts in there about like offshoot stuff. That would be my guess. But in the new cohort group, what we'll end up having is 4 days a week. Each director will already has a day assigned to them. They pick the day, not assigned. I didn't do the assigning, but you picked the day, Rory. So just remember that.
I just have to remember which day. I know which one makes logical sense, so I assume that's one I picked.
You picked Mondays, and
it should be Wednesday, right? That's one that makes the most sense. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I picked Wednesdays, didn't I? Offline, we're going to talk about this and figure it out later. But
Paul will tell us what to do when it's time.
You know what to do? I'm just going to tell Rory it's Wednesday. He doesn't know anyway, so it's fine.
That's actually a good point. Retired writer life means that Wednesday, Monday, it's all the same day.
Right.
It's fair. But yeah, Patreon stuff will carry on as normal. Same regular content, same thing in the Facebook group, same thing everywhere else. We might have topics that are related, obviously, clear reasons. But yeah, in terms of reading and interacting, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah, we're going to continue that forward. So Should be fun. We're very excited by this idea. It's been multiple weeks in the process, and still a lot of work to do between now and January 4th.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, we're missing our dungeon dojos too. Definitely would like to be somewhere where people sweat and punch each other, but unfortunately, the only place that is right now is downtown DC, and I'm skipping that fight. So
Advisable. That's part of self-defense right there, Malcolm.
I know it doesn't make it entertaining. Oh well. Well, we're gonna go jump on the 6 p.m. Zoom call where we will proceed to continue to get weird. For everybody else, remember that you can catch us on Patreon if you are interested in joining some of the community stuff. But if you really just want to get a look at the content, all of the Patreon stuff is there. One of my favorite things to do is go back and review stuff that came up previously, because I don't think even I've read every single thing that we came up with, and there's some cool stuff in there. So go back.
I just got a note for those curious. I just got a note. Looks like this Sunday will be the Tammy McCracken will be joining us on the Zoom link today. So,
Tammy.
Now we have to behave.
Yeah, I know, right? Does that mean we don't get to get weird? Because I feel like you don't want to get weird in front of like people who work in mental health. They start looking at you funny.
Nope.
Start counting the number
I
of
don't
beers
mind when
you
they look
drank.
at us funny. It's when they look at us knowingly.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, Tammy's definitely the parent in the room.
Yeah. I guess I
In a
have
good way.
to put on the veneer of respectability. Anyway, guys, if you've got other questions, hit us up. We're going to go jump on the Zoom. Have a safe Sunday, or don't, whatever. I'm not the boss of you. We will talk to you guys again soon. And if you've got any further ideas, we love questions. We love ideas more. Hit us up.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Let's see.
I'm not saying that on the internet, but you're right. Marcian, you're absolutely right. Indeed.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in a few minutes on Zoom.
All right, later, guys.